one, probably live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday live stream, which I have not done in a couple of weeks. But today felt like a good day to do so. Let me grab the old link and share it on Twitter. Like I say in the title here, this is not probably going to be a super long live stream. I say that and it always goes long, but I'm shooting for like an hour or less. Kind of busy, have some people, some friends coming over later to do like some social distance kind of hanging out. So that'll be an interesting challenge, but really fun. Some of my bandmates who I haven't seen in a long time. But I had a little bit of time and I haven't really had a chance to make too many videos lately. And I want to kind of talk with you guys and go over stuff because there definitely has been some news. So obviously, like I say, this is the part where I'm talking to people in the future because I don't think there's too many people in the chat just yet. Okay. Sweet. So that's sent out to the internets. And let me check and see if, in fact, there is actually anybody in the chat yet. There is a couple people. Riley Shields, the only one chatting. What's up, Riley? Good to see you, man. How you feel about Travis being a me character? Yeah, obviously devastating. If you follow me on Twitter, man, I was very vocal about my feelings about Travis touchdown yesterday, man. It was a very depressing reveal. And it happened during the Smash Brothers demonstration that Sakurai did about what's his name, Minecraft Steve. And I wasn't watching it. It was already early in the morning for me, and I work really early on Saturday, so I was a little bit busy doing that, obviously, and I just wasn't really going to tune in to a show about Minecraft Steve, even though I love Smash Brothers. And like I said in my video, I'm totally okay with Steve being a character, even though he's not interesting to me. But because he's not interesting, I didn't watch the show. So I didn't know anything about the Travis touchdown thing or even that they were going to talk about that kind of stuff until I was getting tagged on Twitter, actually. Like, I got to give shout outs to you guys. There's quite a few fans and people on Twitter who were tagging me in articles and reveals and stuff about it. Then I saw Suda's tweet about it as well. And I was like, what the hell, Nintendo? I love you, Nintendo. But what were you thinking making Travis a me fighter? It was, and that's just because I'm a fanboy of Travis and No More Heroes, right? So obviously, I'm just one very small niche subset of fans. So, I can step away and look at the bigger picture and really understand what it is, but that doesn't mean that I'm not crushed. And that I also don't think it was probably a dumb choice. I do think Travis, as niche as No More Heroes is, and it is, I still feel like he deserved to be a true fighter. Most people know this. So, Pro Nerdy, what's up? What's up, Pro Nerdy? Lamont Francis says it could be a fake out. They have to promote No More Heroes 3. Yeah, I think a lot of people are holding on to hope that it's a fake out and that Travis, an actual Travis, is going to make it into Smash Brothers as one of the remaining 4 fighters. But I don't know, man. I mean, anything's possible. I'm willing to keep my mind open, I guess. And I would cry with joy if it happened. I've been asking for it since Smash for Wii U and 3DS. I've been asking for Travis. And so it's crushing to not have him. Could they surprise us? Yeah, but I'm not holding out hope, you guys. I think the smartest thing anyone who's been asking for Travis could do is to just take this at face value and take this as confirmation that he's only ever going to be a me fighter costume, which is so lame. And that's it. We're probably not going to get an actual Travis in Smash. So huge missed opportunity, huge mistake by Nintendo, I think. I guess I understand it, but I think it's a mistake and a missed opportunity. And here's even more confirmation. What's up, Diego? And what's up, Soryuha? Thanks for popping in, guys. Here's part of how we know it was a bit of a mistake and a missed opportunity, which is Travis touchdown and No More Heroes was trending after that demonstration. I don't think I saw anything about Minecraft or Minecraft Steve trending. I don't even know if I saw Smash Brothers specifically trending. I might have missed those things, but I didn't see them. What I did see at the top of my trending list was Travis touchdown and No More Heroes. And most of the conversation coming out of that was about Travis touchdown and No More Heroes. I didn't see a lot of people talking specifically about Minecraft Steve. I did see a little. I'm not going to say it wasn't there, but I saw very little compared to so many tweets and conversations about Travis. That was the reveal. The fact that Travis was a Mii fighter and people were disappointed. That was the trend, the trending topics coming out of that Smash Brothers thing. It wasn't Minecraft. It was where's Travis and people upset. So clearly there's a pretty large audience, large enough to justify it, And I think, some people want to say, oh, Travis is a not well-known character. No More Heroes is a niche franchise. And I definitely understand and agree with a lot of that for sure. But when you have a character like the Ice Climbers or Terry Bogard, I don't think that many people know those characters. There's another example, and I might have to just pull up a stupid list and remind myself. Who was another character? Darn it. Oh, there was another one. I mean, there's plenty actually. I mean, there are some really obscure characters in Smash Brothers, and I think that some of them are no more or less obscure than Travis. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. So I don't really know if I think a lot of fans have tried to put this artificially created like barometer of how famous or well known does a character have to be in Smash Brothers. And if you really think about it and go through the list of the 80 something characters we have, there's a lot of them that are pretty low on the popularity list or pretty low as far as recent games that they've even had released, but they're still in Smash. So I 100%, fanboyism aside, I 100% think that Travis Touchdown meets whatever standards might be there for a character to make it in Smash Brothers. I absolutely do. You'll never tell me he's too small to be in the game. I don't think that's true. Hey, Clocked It, what's up, buddy? What a travesty. Get it, Travis? That's okay. Us Bomberman fans have had the dirty done on us. He's both an assist and a Mii costume. Brutal, but you can see he's loved by Sakurai. That's a good point. I mean, I think Bomberman also deserves a spot in Smash Brothers. I really do. In fact, I don't even think it's crazy for Bomberman to show up in the game. I don't think anyone would question it. And I would argue that even though Bomberman is an older character, obviously, and has more games under his belt than Travis, I think that Travis Touchdown in No More Heroes, as far as contemporary times right now, is a bigger, more well-known name and franchise. It's like more active, and people think about that character and that franchise way more than they do Bomberman. But if Bomberman was announced, we'd all be like, hooray, it totally makes sense. He belongs. He's a classic character. Like, it makes sense. So we would be accepting of it. I think Travis falls in a similar category. Oh man. Okay. Jack Coney. What's up, Jack? I think they didn't add Travis because of his game being mature. So I'm going to have to prove you wrong on that one. I know what you're trying to say, because of his game being mature rated and Smash is teen rated, and they did the same Fallout guy and Assassin's Creed Mii costume. Yeah, except Bayonetta is a mature rated franchise and Metal Gear Solid is a mature rated franchise. And those characters are in it. Is there another one? Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, those are T for teen, I think. Some people talk about Mortal Kombat characters getting in. I think that would be really cool. And if that were to happen, I mean, it makes sense to me, and that's a mature franchise. So I see what you're saying with Travis, but all they'd have to do is have Travis not swear in any of his, dialogue he would have as a fighter, and he would totally work. I totally think he would work. So, Diego says No More Heroes is basically a Nintendo franchise, so Travis belongs. I agree. No More Heroes 1 had a PS3 port, and Travis Strikes Again had a port to PS4 and maybe Xbox 2. I don't know. But I see what you're saying. I think he's associated enough with Nintendo. I said this in my video about this a couple days ago. He's associated enough with Nintendo that's another reason why it makes sense. Not to mention No More Heroes 3 being exclusive, and Suda and Nintendo obviously have a very good working relationship. It just makes sense. And I'm really worried that Nintendo was like, we'll throw you a bone by making a Mii fighter costume. And clearly, Suda51 and Grasshopper Manufacturer, they were retweeting and liking comments that were expressing disappointment and frustration. So that tells me that maybe they did actually want something more than a dumb Mii fighter costume. So stupid. I love the game, and it's there's so much variety and so many characters in Smash Brothers. It doesn't truly ruin the game for me without Travis, but it does. I said this on Twitter. It does take the wind out of my sails I wanted to believe it was possible. I thought it made sense, and it's just the one fan pick for me that I wanted so badly and I believed in. So of course I'm going to be disappointed. I'm not going to like tell people that, oh, Smash Brothers is a bad game now. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. Come on, man. Smash Brothers Ultimate is amazing. It's one of the best games of the generation. I don't have to have my fan favorite character in the game, but that doesn't mean I can't still be disappointed, and I can't still call it a mistake and a missed opportunity, because I think it absolutely is. So yeah, armchair analysis. What's up? Ice Sonic. Hey bro, what's going on? Lamont says no more heroes. I think you mean to say represents the Wii mature games era. Yeah, that's part of the reason I fell in love with the game at the time. Travis got hardcore deconfirmed. He sure did. He sure did. Clocked It says they'd also need to change his sword charging. Yeah, they would. He wouldn't be able to do that action anymore, I don't think. At least not in Smash Brothers. I mean, maybe they could make it. They probably could get away with it. I think so. Ronnie says, hey, Rob, Travis's recharge animation would have been... Yeah, exactly. Same thing as Clocked It saying. Sam Lee says they will go with what more popular character at the moment. So Minecraft was a smart business move. Yeah, I agree with that, Sam. I made a video talking about the reveal of Minecraft Steve, and I said in the video, I don't care about Minecraft. I don't care about the announcement of Steve. But like you say, it's absolutely a smart business move. I can understand why he's in the game, or why Minecraft characters, because there's multiple of them. I can understand the decision to put them in the game. It didn't do anything to get me excited. It didn't do anything to convince me to buy the Fighters Pass too, like not even close. So I'm still waiting on that. But I understand it. Yeah, it's a smart move. I have no problem with Minecraft Steve being in the game. I think it's unfortunate that it also came with Travis Touchdown as a Mii fighter in the same kind of announcement window. And so I'm like, man, you gave us this dumb character I couldn't care about. Excuse me. But the character I've been asking for forever, and that other people want, was given a Mii costume. Like, it just kind of stings a little bit more because of that, It's just one of those things, man. Just one of those things. Where did I leave off here? Jack Coney says Minecraft deserves to be in Smash because it's best-selling game in the world. Yeah, exactly. So it has left the mark. Yeah, it deserves it. It doesn't mean I'm excited, but it definitely deserves it. I'm cool with it. Metroid Prime in the chat. Hey, Metroid Prime. Says, I'm not against Steve in Smash, but he looks so ridiculous and out of place. I mean, I don't know if that's really true. You get characters like Game & Watch, who looks kind of weird. Actually, maybe those are the only two, now that I think about it. But I hear you, but I don't really mind. Brendan Gillis says, do I think Gino will end up as a Mii fighter or future DLC character? So here's the thing with Gino, you guys. Armchair is talking about the same thing here. The thing about Gino is, for one, I've never played Super Mario RPG, even though I grew up in that era. That's just a game I never actually played. So I don't really know the character other than hearing people talk about it. And I know that people have asked for Gino forever. A lot of people think it's possible. A lot of people like to just poo-poo on the idea. And they get mad at the people who ask for Gino in Smash. And I don't really understand that. As somebody who's not really familiar with the character, I could see either one happening. I could see him being added and being like, just like they got Banjo of all characters, like they managed to get Banjo in. Why couldn't they also manage to get a character like Gino in and just shock the world? But I also see him falling into the Travis Touchdown camp of things, where he's a popular character people have asked for, and Nintendo decides to just make it a stupid Mii costume instead. So my prediction is 50-50 on Gino. I'm not willing to rule it out, but I don't think it's a shoo-in either, Really tough call. Armchair says, you think Gino will be a fighter? We'll see. We will see. Ronnie Fazio says, I never got a chance to play No More Heroes 1 and 2, but I'm interested in trying them if the Switch rumors are true and No More Heroes 3. Yeah, I mean, there was a pretty significant leak about No More Heroes 1, probably like a month or two ago. I tend to believe that leak. It's not confirmed, but I do tend to believe it. And yeah, I think that a No More Heroes 1 and 2 makes a lot of sense. I think they might be doing that the same way they did with Bayonetta. I think they might be doing that. So hopefully that happens. And, I'll be curious to see if they just port those in HD, let's say they do the same thing for the No More Heroes games that Nintendo did with Mario 3D All-Stars, and they just take these games, they make them HD, they change nothing else, and they put them on the Switch. Okay, if they do that, for one, I'll be totally content. That's fine for me. But two, I think that people who've never played them might struggle to get into them because they're mechanically pretty whack games, and they're I would definitely say they're a bit dated. They rely a lot on motion controls, and they're definitely a bit dated. And so I feel like they would have a better chance at turning people into No More Heroes fans if they update them in some ways and they improve some of the kind of goofiness of how those games play. I don't know if that makes sense, but any one of you guys who've played No More Heroes 1 and 2, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I just got a text that could have been important, but I think we're okay. Yeah. Not like emergency important, just from my friends who are my bandmates who are coming over in a bit. I hate to do that. Sorry. I hate to get distracted from this and start texting. That's really annoying, but I have this here just in case I heard something. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, No More Heroes 1 and 2. If you guys have played those games, you know what I'm talking about, how those games are like kind of mechanically not the best. So I think that if they just do straight ports and they bring over all the wonkiness and goofiness of how those games play, people might be like, whoa, I don't like this. So now I'm not going to buy No More Heroes 3. They'd be better off either improving the games, visually and mechanically, or just not doing it and letting No More Heroes 3 come out, which is probably going to be mechanically the best No More Heroes game ever made. I mean, obviously. So anyway, Pro Nerdy says Rob looks away from us for a second. Angry emoji. I know. I think I missed some other questions. Hello, fellow gamers. Hello, Michael Kowalczyk. I don't know if I said that correctly. Let me know. Michael Kowalczyk? Dylan Lasagna says, do you think Crash Bandicoot will end up as an actual DLC character, or will he end up getting me costumed like Travis? I actually think Crash, personally, I think Crash has a better chance at being a real character than Travis, because he got yeeted over to relegated to the lame me costumes. I think that Crash still has a pretty good chance. He's fairly high on my list of possibilities. Just the news around that would be crazy. And then think about it. You could have Mario, Crash Bandicoot, and Crash Bandicoot, and Banjo-Kazooie, all three beating the crap out of each other in Smash Brothers. Like, that's crazy when you think about it. So I really think Crash has a good chance, and he's not owned by Sony, obviously. So it's a possibility. It would just be so cool. Cool. Hey, thanks, Michael. You like the Denver Broncos, eh? We finally won a game against the other worst team in the league. So hooray. Larry, what's up, Larry? Says, Rob must be heartbroken after Travis. I am heartbroken after Travis touchdown. It really is depressing to me, the most depressing. Let me go down to these here and see what questions I'm missing. Go Raiders! No! Sam Lee. I mean, let's be real. Raiders are going to finish with a way better record than the Broncos. So if you were a Raiders fan, that's fine. Yeah, I'm glad they finally won too. It's Russian, says Michael. I might have missed where you said how to. Oh, yeah. It's pronounced Kowalczyk. Okay, gotcha. Cool, Michael. Jack says, considering fans have been asking for him since Brawl, I think Sakurai has listened to and will add him to Ultimate. Are you talking about Crash, or are you talking about Geno, maybe? Armchair Analysis says, I think this Fighters Pass theme will be breaking the major fan rules besides the non-gaming character. Most other big fan rules, I think, will be broken. I mean, I don't know what rules we think about except for the, he's like no non-gaming character, so we're never going to get Goku. Even though I would like Goku to be in the game. And Sonic. Clocked It says Rayman way over Crash. I agree with you too, Clocked It. I think both Rayman and Crash are pretty high on the list. I would prefer Rayman to Crash. Nintendo's relationship with Ubisoft is way stronger, plus Rayman would be a much more fun character to play, I feel. I think Rayman and Crash would be equally as fun to play. I don't really see I mean, you know, Crash would use like the spinning attack and all that, and Rayman would throw his fists really far. You know, I think they both would work great as Smash characters. I don't think one would play any better than the other. But as far as like likelihood, I maybe put Rayman a slight bit above Crash, but I still think they're both pretty high on the list, man. I really do. I do. Breaking up. Oh, is my connection bad, you guys? Is this falling apart on me? I've only been going for like 20 minutes. Let me see. Darn it, I hope that's not the case. Let me see. What are we doing? Let me see. Looks like only one person meant that it wasn't. It's fine. Okay. Okay, cool. Great. Sam says it came and went, but I guess I'm okay now. And it looks okay to me. Okay, sweet. Cool, cool. Just wanted to check, guys. What's going on here? I meant, okay, you were talking about Gino in Smash Brothers. Kentucky Cruz, what's up, buddy? Says, I see Steve announcement as somewhat similar to as Isabelle getting announced, since they are both chill games that have popular followings. Do you feel different? I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. Like, both games have a similar maybe vibe to them, even if they play completely different. So I guess I see what you're saying, and they're both obviously huge franchises. So yeah, they share those two similarities, right? Like they're both chill, relaxing, move at your own pace kinds of games, and they're both massively popular with massive sales. So yeah, I guess that falls in this similar category to me. It's too bad because, you know, I'm not an Animal Crossing fan either. So Isabelle is another character that doesn't appeal to me. But just like with Steve, even though I'm not into the game, I understand the choice. Like Isabelle absolutely belongs in Smash Brothers. Like Animal Crossing people belong in Smash Brothers. And yeah, Minecraft Steve totally belongs. So hello, Speed Forever. Forever. Hello. Steve announcement really crashed Twitter. It was insane. No, this Steve thing did not crash Twitter. There's no way that crashed Twitter, you guys. You might be joking, but I thought it was funny how I think a lot of people actually truly believed that that's what happened. Sam says, what about Bomberman? Yeah, that's what Clocked is saying. Clocked has been asking for Bomberman for a long time. I did get your name right. Hooray. T. Fernbach says, I know this is totally unrelated, but me and my girlfriend found our cat after she went missing for 2.5 months. We're out of our minds. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Is your cat okay? It sounds like your cat is okay. We're big animal people. We have a cat, you know, who we obviously would do anything for. So I totally feel you there. We're going to have a dog pretty soon, sometime maybe next year. So Kentucky says, yeah, I'm not an Animal Crossing fan either. Sorry, my bearded dragon is on the loose. Yes, you better do that, Michael. Definitely got to find a rogue bearded dragon. You don't want him running around your house, him or her. Did you read my previous message? It leads on to the message you read. It's further up the chat. I didn't see it, Jack. It would be pretty hard for me to find it, I think. I meant Gino. That's all I see. Dave, what's up, man? Dave. Super Metal Dave. Travis touchdown is cool. JoyCon drift is bad. I'm out. Yeah, I feel you. It's probably the safest way to do it, man. Yeah, I haven't even talked about JoyCon drift. What a weird conundrum that whole thing is, man. JoyCon drift, man. Get a bulldog. Oh, we should get a bulldog? We actually like bulldogs, but I don't think that's the plan because bulldogs, similar to pugs, I love pugs too. They have a lot of like, my fiance tells me about this and she's an animal expert. She's worked in the animal field in the past. Bulldogs and pugs, because of their smushed faces, I guess they really have like breathing problems and health problems. So your vet bills can be up quite a bit and it just might be really hard to take care of them. So I don't really think we're going to do that. But I love bulldogs. So, you know, nothing against them. A friend of mine has a bulldog. Dason says it's a great coincidence then how right after the trailer dropped, Twitter crashed and Steve had like 4 topics. Yeah, it's definitely a coincidence. I mean, I won't deny that, but there's no way that a video game DLC announcement crashed Twitter. When you look at all the other topics that have happened throughout this year, that far more people have been tweeting about at one time, you know, tragic things and political things. The list could go on. None of those crashed Twitter, but a couple of thousand, maybe even 100,000 tweets about one video game's DLC. That is not going to crash Twitter, you guys. The presidential debate would have crashed Twitter. Kobe Bryant's death would have crashed Twitter. Chadwick Boseman's death would have crashed Twitter. The president catching COVID would have crashed Twitter. None of those did. So even a very popular video game character like a Minecraft person showing up in another video game, it's a popular topic that won't crash Twitter. That's what we have to think about. So that's to anyone who sincerely believed that Steve crashed Twitter. It didn't. We can joke about it, and that's one thing. But if you really believe it, I beg you to not, because I don't think any video game holds the power to crash a website as big as Twitter. Just look at those topics that I just listed that never crashed Twitter. So anyway, her Twitter was already having issues before Steve was even revealed. Yeah, I would totally believe that. I'm not denying, of course, how huge of an announcement that was in the gaming space. It was a huge announcement, but it's not going to crash a website like Twitter. So Hermione Granger's in the chat. Hello, Hermione. Leviosa. I think Travis is still a good shot. There's a bunch of Mii costumes that are also fighters. Yeah, I think people have said that. Who else has been a Mii fighter and a costume? I'm not going to lie. I really haven't paid attention to the Mii fighters because I've not cared about them ever since they showed up in the last Smash game. So I don't know who it was. Dave says, to be honest about Travis' touchdown in Smash, I really, really wished they would have just left him out completely. I agree, Dave. For No More Heroes fans of Travis, having him as a Mii fighter was kind of insulting for me. I am 100% on board with you, man. Like, to me, I think it was actually a worse choice to put him in as a Mii fighter because it feels that much more, disrespectful. I know somebody could say like, oh, you're taking it too seriously to call it disrespectful. But I don't think that's true. I think it is disrespectful to the character and disrespectful to fans, like us, like, Dave, like you're saying. I think the character, it would have been better if he just wasn't in the game at all. Like, because there's something like not including a character is just like, oh, there's too many characters to pick from, so they didn't include this person. But when you make him as a Mii fighter, it's almost like a slap in the face. It's like a conscious choice to be like, yeah, bitch, get out of here. You're not worthy of the real game, so you're just a little Mii fighter costume. It definitely is more insulting. I think I'm with you, Dave. I agree. Can someone dig mine that? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. It was really funny how it all happened at the same time. Oh, absolutely. Hey, what's up, Kieran? I am doing okay. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you are also doing okay. I hope everyone's doing okay, because it's crazy times right now. Crazy, crazy times. Altair from Assassin's Creed, that's a Mii costume. Also Sans and Cuphead. Yeah, but they're not. Also, they haven't been turned into regular fighters, though. I think that's what somebody said as a comment, is that there's been other Mii costumes that have turned into regular fighters. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, like Altair and stuff. Who else did you say? Altair and yeah, Cuphead. Like, those are only Mii fighter costumes, right? So I was referencing the skins about the other Mii costumes being full-fledged fighters. Yeah, but I don't think they are. Oh, okay, you're leaving. Oh, what's up, Brian Jedi? What's up, man? It's just weird considering No More Heroes is pretty much a Nintendo first franchise. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, actually. Dave says, normally Mii fighters do not get brought up later. Sure, there is hope since some others have, but overall, it normally never happens. Yeah, that's true. Hey, at least we have No More Heroes 3 coming. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. I had to calm myself down the other day. I was like, okay, I'm getting too mad. I'm cracking too many jokes. At the end of the day, all that Smash doesn't even really matter in the grand scheme of No More Heroes, because No More Heroes 3 is coming. Like, that's what matters to me. I said it in a lot of my video coverage about No More Heroes. Like, years ago, I would have dreamt for a No More Heroes 3, and I never thought it was going to happen. So that game being made is like, close up to the idea of Metroid Prime 4 being made. Like, games that I never thought would be possible, but in my wildest dreams, I would love to have them. And they both exist. We're getting Metroid Prime 4. We're getting No More Heroes 3. Like, it's crazy to me. So I'm happy to focus on No More Heroes 3. It's okay. Someone from Fire Emblem have. Oh, has there been Fire Emblem costumes before there was Fire Emblem characters? Has that happened? I don't know. I'm so out of touch with the Mii fighters, you guys. I've paid zero attention to them ever since they came out because I'm like, I don't care. In the grand scheme of pause, No More Heroes. Will you buy the Travis touchdown costume? I think I will for showing support. You know, it's funny you say that, Diego. I mean, maybe I should to show support. I mean, I guess some people might say it's hypocritical, but I don't really think it would be. I don't know. I just don't really care. I'm never going to use it. I just don't. I'm not going. No, I'm not going to do that because I'd rather show them my support by buying the fighter's pass if he was a regular fighter. And I'm never going to use a Mii costume, even if it's Travis. I'm not going to use it. So, just not interested. Not interested. Crom. Was Crom a Mii costume first? Kieran says Suda tried to sugarcoat it, but I think deep down he really wanted Travis touchdown as a standalone fighter. I totally agree. And I agree with you about Suda. I think his tweet about it was just like, hey, Travis is in, hooray. But we were all like, no, he ain't, bro. We know what's going on. I said it in a tweet. I was like, that's not Travis. That's a blank Mii avatar with like Travis touchdown hair and a jacket. That's what it is, man. It's not Travis touchdown. PlayStation 5 hype. Yeah, Hanson. Dude, we're like 2 months away. Or sorry, we're like a month away. Yeah, like a month and a week. Holy crap. I have a feeling my Amazon shipment, I bet I won't get it right away. Of my PS5, it'll probably come like a week or so later. And that's okay. I can be okay with that. As long as I know that I have a PS5 secured and that Amazon will ship it to me when it's ready, even if it's not launch day, I'm actually okay with that. I'm patient. I can wait another week or two. As long as I know I've got one guaranteed and I don't have to do anything and start hunting for it and calling places and going in, I just don't want to do that. So as long as I'm locked in, I don't even care if it takes 2 or 3 weeks to get mine. Even though I want to play Demon Souls like immediately, I can wait if I have to, personally. And since Dave is in the chat, I do have to throw a major shout out to Dave because Dave is the reason I even got my PS5 pre-order from Amazon. Like a ninja, he sent me the link like within like seconds of it going live. He DM'd me the link. And thank God I was on Twitter at the time too because I saw it come in as I was on Twitter. And I went right in and I got it. So the reason I have a PS5 is because of Super Metal Dave, my man. Super cool. That remake looks fresh. Yes, it does, Michael. Yes, it does. Xavier says Suda would troll and put him in as a Mii fighter and then reveal also a character later. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I was saying at the beginning here, I'm not completely ruling it out. I think that would be foolish of me to do. But I still don't think it's going to happen. Clocked says Prime 4 will make the Prime series the best quadrilogy in gaming. Scientific fact. I agree. How many quadrilogies are there in gaming? And I think to qualify, there's got to be 4, maybe like numbered games. Because you could say like, oh, there's like more than 4 Uncharted games, but like, oh wait, no, sorry. Actually, Uncharted has 4 games with full numbers in the title, plus Lost Legacy, plus the PSP game. So that's not a good example. But yeah, how many actual quadrilogies are there? I don't know if I could think of one. I mean, Uncharted 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's another game with the 4 in it? What am I brain farting, you guys? Tell me what I'm brain farting. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Dave says, thanks. We were super lucky to even get a pre-order on PS5. I agree. I got my PS5 pre-order link from Joey Ferris. Joey is the man. Speaking of Joey, congrats to him for joining Game Explain. I agree. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Joey Ferris is now working for Game Explain, which is so cool. Much deserved to my buddy. Joey's going to kill it there. He's perfect for Game Explain. So congrats, Joey, even though you might still be live streaming. I don't even know if he could possibly be watching this right now. Let me see. Oh, yeah, they're not live streaming anymore. So, yeah. Assassin's Creed 4. Is there an Assassin's Creed with the number 4 in the title? But there's like 15 Assassin's Creed games. Mario Party? Yeah, there's like 20 Mario Party games. Just Cause? Is there a Just Cause 4? Far Cry 4, but 5 is coming. Isn't it Far Cry 6 coming out? Or is it 5? I thought it was 6. Sniper Elite. Yeah, there you go. I like that Darth Maul collector's item. Yeah, it's actually a coffee mug. Is what it is. It's got a little chip on it, unfortunately, right here on one of his horns. This is a coffee mug. At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Love me some DM, some Darth Maul. I am a Star Wars nerd. What is the most frustrating game you've ever played? Asks Kieran. You know what? I have a perfect answer for that. And it's ironic because I was just talking about this franchise. And there's probably a couple, but the number one game that jumps to my mind, the most frustrating game I've ever played, is Uncharted 3. I hate that game, you guys. I hate Uncharted 3. I absolutely love Uncharted 1, 2, and 4. I think 2 is one of the greatest games ever made. Uncharted 3 to me is an unmitigated disaster. And I tried 3 times. I purchased that game 3 times over the course of like a decade or however long it's been since that game came out. And I was like, it has to be better than I think. It can't be as bad as I thought. And every single time I've played it, it's like, I hate it. That game is not fun. It's broken. The animation sucks. It's awkward to control. The gunfighting is horrendous compared to 1, 2, and 4. It's like you got these 3 masterpieces, and then sandwiched in the middle of these is one complete turd where I just think everything just crashed, and I just hate Uncharted 3. You guys, I hate it. So that's a good question because I just hate Uncharted 3. That's my feelings. Clearly, I have a couple of opinions about Uncharted 3. Wow, Michael, you think Uncharted 3 is the best one? I mean, I know my younger brother really loves Uncharted 3, and actually a lot of people liked it. Didn't work for me, man. Did not work for me. I feel like they tried some things with the control and the gameplay and the animation, and I think they tried to take it to a more advanced level, and I think that it actually just hurt the way the game feels. Because it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me, man. I will tell you what they were going for in the story from the little bit I've played was interesting, sure. But the reason I hate it isn't the story. I mean, I love the characters. I love young Nathan. I love younger, mid-40s Sully. I loved the concept they were doing, but I've never seen that game through to the end. I don't even know what happens at the end. I can't play that game for more than a couple of hours. I just hate it so much. I feel like the third act is trash. Hated the hallucination. Yeah, I think like there's like a part after the hallucination part where like Drake is in like, I don't know, I think he goes to Egypt, or I don't remember where he goes, somewhere in Africa. And he gets like hit with a dart and he's hallucinating and running through like a bazaar or something. And like I did that, and there's like a mission or something. Like the part right after that, I think, is probably the farthest I've ever played. The ending of 4 was good. I agree, Michael. The ending of Uncharted 4, like, almost put tears in my eyes. It was like really, really well done. I love Uncharted 4. I thought it was amazing. The desert part of the game is the highlight of 3. I think that was the part that I hated the most. Well, okay, the part that I hated, I hate the whole game. There's a part where you're like swimming. There's like a bunch of boats in a shipyard, and they've all got guys on them, and you got to swim around to each one. It's a disaster. It's horrible. Then there's a part where you're in a big ship, and it turns on its side, and there's like water filling up halfway, and you have to swim around. And it's a cool idea, but it's a disaster to play through. And then there's the stuff in the desert, which is also a disaster. So I don't know. It's weird that we're talking so much about this game, but I have a very strong opinion of that game. I hate that game. I love the other ones, but I think that one is trash. But if you like it, then that's great. I'm not here to tell anyone that they can't like it. It just didn't work for me. So for 2021 Metroid Anniversary, do you think they are just going to release Metroid Trilogy on Switch and get Metroid 35? I definitely don't think we're going to get Metroid 35. But yeah, I do think, here's the thing, you guys. Right at the end of 2019, I was telling you guys that I very much believed that there's going to be a Metroid release in 2020. And that's true. However, everything changed in 2020, as we know. So my personal belief is that as far as anything Metroid, a trilogy, a 2D game, whatever it is that I think they might be doing, I feel like it was supposed to happen this year, but obviously would have been pushed back because of COVID and everything. So to answer your question, yes, I do believe we're getting some kind of Metroid release in 2021. On top of a pretty good chance of seeing Metroid Prime 4. I do not think we will be playing Metroid Prime 4 in 2021, but I do think there's a great chance that we see it next year. So just putting that out there. 2020 was a Uno reverse card. Yes, it was. Brian Jedi says, you fight against non-human enemies that turn out to be hallucinations. Oh, really? I definitely never did that. I never, ever did that. So my sister's trying to text me something. Pardon me for a moment. Okay. Answer that text. Samus Aran. Oh, my God. We got Metroid Prime and Samus Aran in the same chat. Are you guys going to start fighting? Says, if you had to make a prediction, when will be the first time we see a trailer for some sort of Prime 4? My money is on E3 if it happens. I do think E3 next year is the earliest if E3 happens, and I think we will get some kind of E3 presentation. But I think that's the earliest. Even if it doesn't happen at E3, I still think there's the entire rest of 2021, all the way from E3 June, all the way to the end of 2021, I think is the time. So that's a long way of saying the back half of 2021. I don't think in quarter 1 or 2 we're going to see Metroid Prime 4, but if it's going to show up next year, I think it would be quarter 3 or 4. So the back half. Around that time. Keep changing my lights here. I'm going to go for about 15 or 20 more minutes, you guys. 2021 is Kaleido's guess. Metroid Prime says Samus. That's so funny. Mr. Young Hegelian says, at least you like other games other than Nintendo-only games, unlike the Spawncast crew. Well, I mean, for one thing, yes, I like a ton of non-Nintendo games. A ton. Uncharted, The Last of Us, Halo, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne. I don't know. I could just keep going on. Like, Doom, Ghost of Tsushima, just tons of other. I mean, even No More Heroes isn't a Nintendo franchise. Bayonetta isn't a Nintendo franchise. There's tons of non-Nintendo stuff. I love playing on my Xbox and my PlayStation. But I will say, I know the Spawncast guys and girl. Like, I know them. I was on even 2 weeks ago. I've been on the Spawncast many times. They're all Nintendo fans. We're all Nintendo fans. But, I mean, they're definitely big on non-Nintendo games also. They really are. So, I don't know. I'm just going to throw that. I can just say, as somebody who knows them personally, we talk behind the scenes when it makes sense to. I mean, I know them. I don't think any of them are just Nintendo fans. I just don't. They're all really good people. They like a lot of different kinds of games. So, Clocked It says, gotta bounce. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Thanks, Clocked It. Next Smash character will be Beautiful Joe. That would be great. I know you really want him, and so do I. You heard it here first. Metroid Prime Samus Aran. Also, Samus is the Metroid Prime. I see what you're getting at there. Do I like Halo? Yes, I do. I really like Halo. Yeah, Spawncast crew was talking about other games yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. They all love different games. Every one of them. Let me scroll up and see what I missed here. Okay, answered that one. Kieran says, what do you think of the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity gameplay? I'm not a Dynasty Warriors fan, but I'm sold on the gameplay. Yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, I'm not a Warriors guy either, but I played Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U and was super addicted to it. I think it's fantastic. And I think that the new, Age of Calamity, looks awesome. So excited for that game. It's actually ridiculous how excited I am for that game. So if you didn't play the first Hyrule Warriors or any other Warriors game, but you're a Zelda fan, I think you're going to be in for a treat. So I would say just be excited because it's going to be fantastic. Um, did anyone like Other M? That game glitched on me around 70% of the game and couldn't get past the door. Yeah, so Michael, I love Other M. I've defended it many times. You see my poster up here. But they were actually, that door glitch was a big deal. Nintendo acknowledged that glitch. And I don't know if any of you guys remember or are old enough to remember, 10 years ago. Nintendo had a solution to fix that glitch. And my memory was you had to send your Wii in to get it fixed. Or maybe you had to send in the SD card you had in your Switch or something. Like you had to send something into Nintendo to get it fixed because the Wii was not capable of downloading patches to games because it didn't have like a hard, it just wasn't possible. So yeah, that's a famous glitch, the door thing. I never ran into it personally. I played through the game probably 5 or 6 times. I've never had that problem. I got very lucky. Literally in Dreamcast guy's name. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Yeah, Dreamcast guy, for example, huge on RPGs, loves Final Fantasy and Skies of Arcadia. Obviously, Sega and the Dreamcast. I mean, they're all that way. So yeah. Would you like Samus Returns Switch release? Absolutely, Diego. Even though I would rather have a new game. Here's the thing. We talk about the Prime Trilogy and we talk about a Samus Returns. Like, yes, I want those, but a new game is always preferred. Okay, the Switch could actually use new Nintendo games really badly right now. There hasn't been very many. There was only there will only be 3 new Nintendo games this year. Animal Crossing, Paper Mario, and Hyrule Warriors, okay? And Hyrule Warriors is actually developed by Koei Tecmo, to be fair. It's just a Nintendo IP. So, the Switch really needs new stuff. Mario was a collection of old games. Tokyo Mirage Session was an old game. Pikmin 3 is an old game. There's tons of Wii U ports. We need new Nintendo content on the Switch pretty badly. So if I could pick, I'd rather have a new Metroid game, which I do think they're making. But I would absolutely be happy with Samus Returns. That'd be amazing. It would be amazing. Zero Suit Samus Metal Gear Solid inspired spinoff. So I'm only going to go for another like 10 or 15 minutes, but I did want to talk a little bit about the JoyCon thing, you guys, the JoyCon drift. I put it in the title of this thing. We really didn't talk about it because I think it's kind of annoying. And I think it's kind of silly that Nintendo is denying the fact that it's an inconvenience, right? Like they were like, we don't believe it's a problem or an inconvenience to people. It's like, actually, wait, I have it right here. Yeah, they're saying Joy-Con drift, quote, isn't a real problem or hasn't caused anyone inconvenience. And like, here's the thing, man. I've never had Joy-Con drift. I have day one Joy-Cons, day one Switch. I wish my earlier response had context. I didn't see that. I've never had Joy-Con drift for the 3.5 years I've had my Switch. My 2 Joy-Cons that I still use from launch day work completely fine. But like, I think we all know that it's actually a problem, right? We all know that Joy-Con drift is real. And Nintendo even started fixing Joy-Cons for free, which is a way of acknowledging that there's an issue out there, even though they never outright said it, which I think they're using in their court case. But clearly, there's a problem, man. And it's very disappointing to me. Let me ask, how many of you guys had Joy-Con drift? Okay, I'll ask that because I'm somebody who hasn't. But, this is a pretty small stream for me. There's only 70 people in the chat, which is actually pretty low for me. But there's 70 people. So I'm curious. Michael says you've had it. Ardemore, I'm sorry, says you had it. TK Jordan had it. Ice Paladin says I've had it on 2 pairs of Joy-Cons. Prime Aether has. Ice Sonic says not you. Wyatt Rosebrock says super bad drift on mine, but I ate chips and got salt in them. Okay, so maybe you did it to yourself. Kentucky says slight drift. Brendan says currently have it. Hoofle Demon says had it. I can't read that. Dave says it's about as anti-consumer a stance I've seen Nintendo ever had on this Joy-Con thing. It's bad. I personally haven't had it yet, but many I know have. Exactly. And Dave, that's That's even the point I'm making. And we can see how many people are chiming in on the chat. It's like overwhelmingly like 90% of people says they've had it. Diego says you haven't had it. Owen said twice. So it's clearly a problem, you know? And like, I'm of the mind that it's even okay for it to be a problem, provided it's one, acknowledged, and two, is fixed with little to no money or inconvenience to the person. Like, it's all hardware, it's all tech, it's physical things with moving parts that we hold. They have wear and tear. And yes, you could say it's a design flaw, obviously, that creates this, just like the red ring of death. But at the end of the day, like, you know, flaws and mistakes, I don't know. I can allow it to be what it is, provided the company behind it does the right things. And to me, Nintendo coming out and saying this is pretty anti-consumer. It's pretty not great for Nintendo, you know. So I have to say, I think it's the wrong messaging that they're sending. I think that it would be way better for them to just acknowledge it. I know they're trying to get out of paying a lawsuit. I get that. They're going through a legal battle, and so that's their motivation here. But to us, the gamer and the consumer, and the people who have these things that we've paid for that are not working, it's a really bad look for them. It's really bad PR for the company, I think. So I just find it to be a real shame that Nintendo, who I love to death, is making, in my opinion, a really bad decision to try to spin it like it's not a problem and that it's not causing a people inconvenience. If all you have are two Joy-Cons, it's an inconvenience. I only have two Joy-Cons. I mean, my fiance has a Switch and a new Switch, so we do have that pair as well. But me, I only have my two Joy-Cons. If I get drift on one of them, I am immediately inconvenienced because suddenly I can't play my Switch, at least in portable. I have a Pro controller, okay, but I couldn't play my portable Switch. I couldn't do it until I bought new ones or sent them in to get fixed by Nintendo. That's an inconvenience. I haven't run into it yet, but if I ever do, I will be inconvenienced. So I just don't think that. And Michael's saying here they're expensive. Yeah, they're like $80 for a pair. You know, close to $100 with tax. That's probably like $89 in most places. Like, come on, man. That's totally an inconvenience. I blame children dropping my consoles. Maybe. Kids definitely break things. Ardemore says fixing like 30 million pairs of Joy-Cons means a lot of money. That's true. I agree, Ardemore. I agree. But I think it's also the responsibility of a company that creates a product. If a car manufacturer puts a new model of a car or a truck out there and there's a fault that's noticed in it, what have we seen happen? Recalls for defects. Tire models have been recalled for defects that are dangerous. Vehicles with issues with like navigation systems or brake pads or whatever, they recall them. They pay way more money than Nintendo would ever pay to fix Joy-Cons to take back car models and send out parts and get all these cars fixed. Millions and millions of vehicles. And that's just one example in one industry where it's the onus of the company and the manufacturer to A, do it right the first time, or B, pay out of their own pocket to fix it if there is a known actual problem. And again, Nintendo has already started doing this anyway. Nintendo made some form of acknowledgement by saying, hey, we're going to fix Joy-Cons for free now. They didn't used to do that, but everyone made a stink about Joy-Con drift because it was a real problem. And so suddenly Nintendo was like, well, I guess we have to start fixing these for free because clearly there's a problem with our Joy-Cons. That's our mistake. This is our design problem. This isn't people breaking their Joy-Cons. This is a problem in our design. And so let's fix them for people for free. So that's my soapbox here. And again, I'm only mildly invested because I haven't had the issue. So I'm not complaining for my own sake here. Like, I've had no problems, but people definitely have. Jono, what's up, man? I'm like 5 minutes away from ending the stream, but it's good to see you here, buddy. Thanks for showing up. Total Recall, get them sent back to Moz. Get your ass to Moz. Total Recall, Dave, used to scare me as a kid. The end of the movie when he ends up, the bad guy, they're like out in the atmosphere of Mars and their eyes start popping out of their heads. I couldn't handle it. Could not handle it, dude. It's a great movie. Thank you for your input, man. I'm subscribed. Oh, thanks, Michael. Dude, cool. I appreciate you subscribing. Alan Fallonix says, so did Nintendo just make this comment? Yeah, this was like a day or two ago, Alan. If you Google like Nintendo Joy-Con drift lawsuit, you'll see it. Actually, wait, I literally have an article right here. Duh. I was looking at it for something the other day and it's still here. Uh, yeah, go there. That's the quote I was reading is from that article. Great film, so is Running Man. I love Running Man. I want them to do a new one. Yeah, you're welcome, Alan. You're welcome. Maybe they should redesign the Joy-Con so there's no drift at all. Yeah, Hanson, that's definitely a thing that they should do. Brendan says, Rob, has your band released any music we should check out? So we got a song out last year, and then we got our second song out right as COVID was hitting. And then that stopped my band dead in its tracks. So we haven't been able to practice for months. All work on the EP and our recording has stopped completely. No more writing we've really done. I mean, one of our guys has done a little bit of writing on his own, but we haven't been able to get together to finish the EP. We're still waiting on a good way to do that. But that might start very soon. Band's name is called Sacrifice to Survive. I have YouTube videos of our 2 singles here. Here, let me do this. I'll share this with you guys. It's very tragic. And I'm sitting here, I've been working on, we just bought a house. I've been converting my garage into a music studio and a practice space, and made a bunch of progress this weekend. I'm about 90% done. So we're going to be able to hopefully start practicing soon. We'll figure out the social distancing part of it because that's the reason we haven't been able to finish our EP. There we go. So the band, we have a lot of music from before I joined the band. They have 2 albums that existed before I. Oh, maybe I'm back. Was I gone? Did I cut out for you guys for a minute there? I think I might have. I'm definitely up and running now. Oh, later, Michael. Later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing. I'm back. Man, that always happens. Every time I stream, about an hour in, it's like I cut out for like 30 seconds. That's so lame. Well, I posted those 2 links. I was blabbing about these 2 tracks, basically that I'm drumming on those 2 tracks. The previous music I'm not playing on, so I will check it out. First track sounds good. Thanks, Diego. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Oh, thanks, Mamia. Is it Mamia? Mamaya? I appreciate that. Yep. That's my band. That's me playing the drums. So hopefully, maybe before the end of the year, we can actually get back to finishing the damn EP. It's going to be five tracks. So we got 3 more to go. We have a foundation of the other 3 tracks. Putting them together and finalizing and recording is definitely going to take some work. Do I play any other instruments? Kieran is a bass player. So I can dabble on piano and guitar and bass, but really I can just like fart around. I'm not good. I couldn't even play like a song. I've got some licks on these instruments, but nothing too fancy. I'm a drummer. I'm a percussionist through and through. That's just what I do. So at the end of the day, any piece of hardware breaks after a while, not just this. It really sucks, but it happens. Yeah, that's the thing, Diego. Like when it comes to Joy-Cons, it's like, check out your band's Facebook page. Really cool. Yeah, thanks. What was I going to say about that? I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So the difference here's the thing, though. Yes, any hardware breaks, which I was saying earlier, it's going to happen. But I also think that there's a level of when hardware breaks because it's, because it's just going to break after time, or because you break it, or if it breaks because there's a fault in how it was made. And the Red Ring of Death was a fault in how the Xbox 360 was made. Joy-Con drift is a fault in how the Joy-Cons are made. That's just the way of it. So you're right. Everything breaks. And I understand that too. But I do think When it's a fault in the production, that's when it's up to the company to own it and to fix it. And Nintendo is straddling that line because they're fixing it and they're doing it for free for people, but they're not truly owning it either. So, really tough call. Really, really tough call. So, I have hit an hour, you guys. I think I'm going to have to call it. Shorter stream, very small stream. I didn't even hit 100 viewers today, so that's okay. But this was a lot of fun. Thanks for chatting. A lot of Travis stuff, a lot of Smash Brothers and No More Heroes. What a crazy world. Crazy world. But this was a lot of fun. I got some friends coming over in a bit, so I'm going to prepare for that. And I have a couple of videos coming this week, and maybe I'll get to stream next weekend and finally get Emily on the stream with me because I know she wants to do that. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you. And I will see you next time on a video and another stream. So, bye-bye.